What's going on? It's Fizz, and I want to talk about why you should stretch. Because it feels good. If we want to get to the more technical side, because that answer didn't serve enough purpose in your life and you want complex things to get further away from the truth, here we go. So I gotta cross this. Whew. Little spin on there too. If we can see that. Yeah, it's whatever. Gotta bring my football moves back. I might have to juke somebody again. You have stress. A lot of people have mental stress or stress they cause themselves, which virtually are the same. They have a correlation, more so they're equal to some extent. But that stress, one of the best ways to get rid of stress for the people that I'm talking to right now is to actually stretch and also move. That's why everyone feels better when they move, because your body's psychologically designed to move. There's no question in that. You can question where we live, where to eat. I mean, where we came from, what to eat, where we came from, God, the sky. You can question everything. God told me not to question him. I just felt it. But in all reality, I just get sick of holding it like that. It's, you are going to make the decision. We are meant to be flexible as a baby if you want another result. But scratch that. We're supposed to be just, if you could be as flexible as possible, why would you not to? Any animal in nature that's not in a zoo or a pet or domesticated animal is going to be naturally tendency, and always will be, the survival of the fittest and the strongest animal. You don't have to think like that, but you can. You also can. Well, that is our fundamental nature. Some people don't know how to control their fundamental nature, and this brings into a lot of verses, controversy, and then self-reactions against the self, such as discipline or unloving oneself. Things among those lines. And there's other objectives and options to this. But when we talk about stretching and stretch, it's flexibility. And this is kind of what yoga says, but Europeans pretty much have their own thing too. Especially if you work out, you have to stretch. It's so much easier to stretch before working out. You actually, in my sense, you do want to develop both at the same time, but once you reach a level to flexibility, you kind of hit it like you could always get stronger. And yes, you can get more flexible. I'm not putting limits or capsizing them, but from my experience, it's super easy to build strength, especially under the natural circumstances we got on today, where you just go to a gym. Not that there's anything wrong with that, where you just have weights, but more so like we aren't meant to be. When your body's tight, your mind's tight. We're meant to be flexible as a baby. Any animal in the wild has optimal energy, probably optimal health, also optimal flexibility. Though they aren't related to us because obviously they move different, but that doesn't mean anything less. Because if we are meant to bend our legs up, arms all the way down, you don't have to get into crazy contouring. And we are meant to bend, but we aren't meant to break. If you're tight, it breaks. Clay, when it gets tight, when it gets heated, it breaks. When it's malleable, it's not. You're meant to be malleable, to take hits. When people get drunk, they feel loose. That's exactly what stretching does. Stretching is actually super fundamental, and it's the best thing for you. I hear people say stretching videos, but people are so intellectual nowadays, you gotta tell them. And that's where I come in. I'm telling you to stretch because it's good for you. It's probably gonna be the most fundamental, easiest thing and best feeling thing, rewarding, that you'll ever do. Your body's meant to stretch. You're meant to turn all the way around like an owl. You want your body to be the most flexible. There'd be no reason not to. Just because your job doesn't require it, your life does. Your body is your vehicle, and while there's many spiritual aspects to it, what we're just getting on, numbing it down to a physical body thing. Because that's all it is, traditionally and primitively. That's what we work with. Because if we didn't, because a lot of nowadays we have the shelter, we have the water already done and made. But doesn't mean you get lazy. See, this is like an adversity. It's like people got lazy. They have, even though they're not happy, they have access to everything. Everything's accessible from all over the world. And some people may have luxuries. Some people don't have food. Number one, no matter where I lived in the world, I would always get food because it's my main thing. No one would ever control my food because that would be a war. Anyone who doesn't get food is going to start a war or be warlike because they're fucking starving. It's the natural thing. What does this have to do? Stretching does more to the body. It makes your mind flexible and it makes you realize things. But it's also coincides with movement. But that's not the topic of this video, though. I did say I made a video not too long ago called "Exercise is the best food you eat," because you can eat trash and work out. And I'm talking live a physical life like we're meant to. You can live any life you want. But fundamentally, we are physical beings, and our body loves to be moved. Body loves to be moved. Heart loves to be moved. Brain loves to be moved. Spirituality loves to be moved. It's not, once you reach level 1, the physical body, which a lot of people are at, they don't understand. It doesn't matter. I'm giving them the message. The freaking stretch. That's what yoga is. But you don't have to be in all the weird poses. You can just stretch like the Europeans do. I mean, I'm sure everybody stretch. The reason why we got to stretch more, because one, we probably do a lot more sitting. And two, if you work out and if you're an athlete, you definitely got to stretch. Those assholes that lift weights all the time and aren't flexible, those are the tightest people. Not saying they're not nice. I'm not saying that. Their body's not going to be nice to them. I'm not saying you can bully through some things and not stretch. A lot of people maybe want to make fun of people stretch. You should be stretching, because once you get to a level where you're super flexible, which we can say almost maximum flexibility, because you can always hyperextend things and go further, which is good, but the message is just to stretch more. Also, once you get to a level where you can do like splits and be really flexible, like you won't have to stretch as much. Like working out, you can always freaking work out and build muscle. It never freaking stops. I don't want to stop either. And stretching, it can't, if you're a tight person, you most likely need to stretch all your body parts too. It kind of goes hand in hand with exercising or moving around physically. That's why so many people go to yoga, or yoga is becoming popular, because it's a physical exercise. But that's not the thing. Like I now have no problem with yoga, but I do things differently. And it just correlates to stretching to me. I get where they're coming from the other spiritual aspects to it. They're not needed for me. I'm not saying I'll never, at this moment in my life, though this isn't the point of the video, but you always get a little personal stuff with me. It's just like stretching is gonna feel good. It feels relaxed. You don't want to be tight and tense. You don't want to be tense and tight. You want things to be intense, but intense where you're just like there, and then you control that moment. You want your body to be loose. It's always better to be loose. A lot of people will benefit from yoga. You can do stretching at your house. You don't have to do the poses. Me, if you want to get on that matter, I like to do like if I stretch, I'm going to stretch all damn day. At the moment, I am. Or for a long time. Because that's just kind of how I am. And I'm thinking about running experiments, doing something. When I do things, do them for an extended period of time. Though, again, this is just personal. When we move on from this, I just know the benefits of stretching, and I see why people do it. And if you work out, you're definitely going to be tight, especially people who do strength training or anything really. Before, they never really did strength training like we did now. Or if they did before, it wasn't that much in a sense where they needed to stretch. They were naturally pretty much loose, even if they didn't stretch. Nowadays, you gotta stretch pretty much. I mean, it's your world and you're captain of it. So take the ship and sail it wherever you want around the seas. The point of the matter is the stretch. You're gonna feel so good, you can thank me later. Anybody can benefit from it. There's really no wrongdoing in stretching. In fact, that's where a lot of people's diseases are related, from not moving around. And stretching's just as good. As I was saying about me, when I was talking about really going into it, and I do it for hours on end, or rack up hours, was because I need to, and also I want to. And I feel it's a respectful thing to do because all the working out I did before. Because you got a loose body, you have a loose mind. It's pretty much simple. It's not that way for everybody, but it's close enough. You're always going to benefit from stretching, so you should definitely do it. No one really talks about why you should do it. And that's why I made the video why you should stretch. Also have some other stuff why I never did that. Because I would always get a pain and I never wanted to stretch because I don't know if something's messed up. But you want to prevent things because then you can get maximum productivity out of your body. Being flexible is one of the best things. It just sounds like the best thing when you actually hear it. And it's not hard to do. You put your mind towards anything, you can do it. Trust me. And you can always learn for someone too. But this is a fundamental thing, and you necessarily don't even got to, or you could research real quick if you forgot, because I'm sure we're all taught about stretching. It's how fundamental it is. And you're just always going to benefit from it. Yeah, I was going to say another personal experience, but I know I was getting to it back there, but honestly, I don't remember because I've been moving around a lot, and I said a lot in this video. So, just know stretching is good for you, no matter what you do. And I'll do another video how I do stretching. Like, I was going to actually show it, but I can also talk about it too, like aspects to it. But it's pretty simple. Just stretch. You'll feel good all the time. Trust me. So, have a nice day. Thanks for tuning in. This is Fizz. Check out some other videos. I'd be pleased to share them with you. Have a nice day.